is my other big knee ability exercise that anyone can get into pain-free. Here's what I mean. Normally I find an athlete, and we do this with our toes turned out, heels pretty close together, toes turned out to give more emphasis to those VMOs. Normally an athlete can do this keeping the glutes totally locked, so the glutes don't bend at all, it's all knees. Can start out about here and work at this level until it's really easy to do. But, I mean, you could stack this up infinitely. You could imagine, you could stack up pillows. You could be at home working on this at the couch. The key really is to start at the level you can do where you only feel the VMOs working and not pain in the knees themselves. So I've still never found anyone, my mom, anybody can do this exercise at some level. The key is to keep doing those reps until you actually have a great burn in those muscles. So maybe as a beginner, maybe it takes 100 reps at a high point to get that burn. Now as you get stronger, as your body starts wanting to use these muscles, instead of putting the pressure into the knees directly, you can keep working down deeper. So at my gym, I use these things, and an athlete would go lower, and we pretty much just want to get until I'll take 2 of them off now. So I know for someone about my height, we'll get directly here so you can see it, that if I go down to a 6 or 8 inch pad, my shin is now parallel to the floor. That's as heavy as this load is going to get. It doesn't mean you can't go further, but at that point, if this is a joint, so it's getting heavier, 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 that's the heaviest point, and then it would get less heavy on the quads after that. So you can see the heaviest point, and what I find is the safest point of strength to get to is where your shins are parallel to the floor. So if I go down, keeping my glutes locked until my shins are parallel, squeeze up, I feel no pressure in my knees, I just feel the pressure in those muscles. So at that height, what's really cool is I don't find much weight is needed on this. This is about 10 pounds, so you can hold a plate at your chest and keep getting stronger there. Again, going to burn out, and you can hold even a heavier plate, so this is now closer to 25 pounds, and I'm just locked in with those muscles by my knees. Those muscles are your best friends in the world, and then even up to like a 45-pound plate. So I find if you can grab a 45-pound plate and those knees are strong enough over the toes to parallel to the floor for 20 reps, you're good to go. So just with a 45-pound, up to 45 pounds of weight and consistency, you can actually build world-class knees and world-class muscles around those knees to protect them, which is how your knees get world-class, because then you don't have the beating and trauma on your knees when you play. And that's why I never set out to have a 40-inch vertical. I just set out to protect my knees. But if you look at your skeleton and you look at the muscles around it, as you get superhuman strength around these joints, you can just jump higher. And even when you do jump, you don't have pain, so you can go into it with more force, and all that adaptation can take place. But I don't have to get into any of those specifics. I'm just a living product of getting to over a 40-inch vertical from 19 inches, despite past knee surgeries and all kinds of pain, just through these simple movements that I have found that anybody can get into. So the key is just consistency and thinking of knee ability. Your knee is a joint in your body that it bends, it puts pressure on it every time you play basketball. So I just want to improve your knee ability so that your knees not only don't negatively affect your career, but you may find, as I have, that your knees end up becoming a positive, because now the biggest advantages to my game are actually how hard I can put force into my knees for changes of direction, deceleration, to be sprinting and then jump without even realizing it. My mid-range jump shot now, no matter how hard I'm going, goes straight up, and I don't I don't carry forward on my jump. So, you know, worst case scenario, use this stuff to extend your career and never have a problem with your knees. Best case scenario, you get even more athletic than you were even at your best. So the key is that you followed my advice and you go to burnout, even if it's very pathetic and it's not that low. You got to go until you get a burn in those muscles around the knees, and then just be consistent and keep doing it as long as you can recover and get stronger. So if you did it one day and the next day it didn't feel stronger, you probably should take a day off in between. So I don't want you doing it unless it's going to be a little better than you were before. You do it, your body goes, oh wow, you want me to be strong like this? All right, oh shit, I got a protein synthesis and all this stuff that your trainers and medical experts can explain. Then the muscle can develop. And then the next time you do it should be like, oh yeah, it's a little bit stronger. So I'd say minimum twice a week to really see the benefits.